Hey ladies and gents, this is Linda Chic 777, and today I'm coming at you because I thought we would create together a topiary. And I haven't done one, seems kind of easy, but I've been wanting to do one, so I thought, like I said, we would create one together. Now I know for sure this will be a two-parter. I can't promise that it won't stay a two-parter. It might go into three parts, but, I'll do my best. I have done a lot of prep work ahead of time, saving us, time like spraying the flowers and things like that, so, should help out. But anyway, so I'm going to move my son out of the way so we can get started. So what I did is purchased one of these foam cylindrical pieces at like our local Dollar Tree. It was actually probably, I'd say, about 1 inch taller. So I cut that off, and then for the bottom, instead of using like a flower pot type base, I thought I'd use this cute little watering can I got at a local craft store. I have already primed it with gesso, but as you can see, I want to show you, see how much smaller kind of the opening is compared to the base of the topiary part. Well, obviously that's going to stay like that, but I have thought of a few things to add to this to make it appear larger. So when you're looking at it as a whole, I think it, we can make it kind of match the width of the top. The bottom will be just as wide to kind of match the width of the top, is what I'm trying to say. So like I said, prime this with gesso. First thing we got to do, because I want to use the Tim Holt Crackle paint, picket fence, and so I want to get this all nice and crackled up. So we'll do that so we can set it aside to dry while we go to town on our topiary. Okay, so let me kind of move my camera lens, not moving you, just moving me, so I can watch where I'm at and make sure I stay in frame. And I'm going to actually get a different paintbrush here. Okay, so we can get going on this. I don't know how pretty it's going to be when you get some of the tight spaces, but in order to use, for those of you who may not know, this Distress Crackle paint, any of the Crackle paints, Tim Holtz advises that you prep your products first with some kind of primer like gesso or something like that for this to work best. And of course, I can tell you, I thought I knew what I was doing, and, Tim Holtz doesn't, and I've tried to crackle this without gessoing, and it doesn't work. Tim Holtz knows what he's talking about. So, even on wood pieces, prime with gesso first or some kind of primer, and then go into your painting. And this stuff, once it starts to crackle, then you can completely finish the crackle process with heat set. And I like to kind of get it, the thicker you get it on, the better, the bigger the crackles. So I kind of like I'll do thick in some places and thin in some others, and get some good crackling going on. Try not to go over the same spot. And I suppose I could have done this ahead of time, but what's a start to finish video if all you're doing is gluing some flowers on a foam piece, right? So we want to look at something happening here. Working my way around. For those of you that, keep up on Facebook and stuff, and know that I'm going through chemo and stuff, I'll kind of get a little personal with you. It looks like we think it's from my chemo port, contracted a bacteria. So I have to go in twice a day at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. For 2 to 4 weeks getting IV antibiotics. So that's kind of fun. So I'm kind of in the middle of that right now. And I've done my morning already, my morning IV antibiotics, and now we're going to be working on the evening. It's just about 5 o'clock our time, so I got about 4 hours to go before that starts up. And I'll have to get my port taken out, and I have to get an echocardiogram. There's two kinds. One, they kind of looks like an ultrasound. They look at your heart, but the one I'll be getting is where they put the little camera down your esophagus so they can look at my heart, because the type of bacteria that came from my port, it first likes to gather around the port, so that thing, they're whipping that right out. And then it also likes to gather around your heart and cause endocarditis, which is inflammation of the heart and the elements around the heart. So they want to make sure that that's looking good so far. So my chemo got put on hold this last week, and that's kind of what I've got going on right now. And like I said, they just think it came from the port. I've always kind of had a little bit of trouble with it. Got put on antibiotics with it a few weeks ago, just some oral antibiotics, take by mouth. But this time it got into the bloodstream, so yay, port! And that'll be taken out, and they'll put a PICC line in, which is kind of like an internal IV. It'll go under my right arm, go in my right arm. Then they'll feed like a thing through a tubing, and it'll kind of go up over the heart. So there, you know all about me that you ever wanted to know. But you know what? I'm just trudging along. Nothing I can do through it. I'll walk this trail too. That's what I've got to do. Okay, so let's see if I can. I'm trying to figure out, because I've got to do this on the handle. Well, we'll just see if I can do it without holding it. Kind of grip it on the side and get it up underneath. Get my fingers all nice and painted. There we go. And we can get it this way. Actually looks like it's starting to kind of dry in some places. It never looks real pretty while you're working on it, that's for sure. I'd like to get the bottom part too. The very, very bottom. But I need to be able to touch stuff to do it. I don't know why I'm doing this lip, because that's pretty much going to get covered up anyway, but I'm like, where do I grab it? I'll just repaint that part, I guess. I just like things a little bit funky sometimes, right? A little bit funky. So I wanted to use a watering pitcher for my base. Okay, let me get those sides again. Okay. I think I got... Did I paint that part? I think I did. Alright, now we just wait for it to start crackling, and then we can heat set it and speed it along. Alright, let me clean my brush off. Should have brought some water in here to clean my brush, but I'll just wipe it with the... I have water to drink, but I'll just wipe the paint off with the paper towel. And try and poke this out of the way. Sorta. Yeah, I know. It's all that paint that painted on the perimeter. Okay. So, what I did, I got a bunch of little containers here that I separated flowers in, and I sprayed my flowers, brought out some Prima color bloom sprays, and I sprayed my flowers with this pearl white, which actually, if you can see, kind of has a real light, just almost just a touch of a pink tinge to it. So it's saying pearl white. It's got that touch of a pearlized pink tint to it. And then the other color I use, I was going to do all white and cream, but I decided I just wanted a little color. Couldn't handle it. So cotton candy, which is just a real luscious, yummy pink. So I did some different flowers up. I've got my different ones of, and let me show you some of the cotton candy. I just barely hit them, so they're not all, you know, they're not bright pink. They just kind of got touches of pink on them. Kind of see the pink there. So I've got some of those. And those were white to start with. These ones were cream. I mean, a real real creamy color. Those are Wild Orchid Craft flowers, and these are flowers I got from Archana at Crafty City. I love these. She calls them the little heart petal flowers, because the little petals look like little hearts, and they do, but I just love how cute they are. But that cream color mixed in with that little bit of cotton candy really gives it a whole different kind of shade. I love that. And then these white ones, some are again from Archana's shop, Crafty City, and then craftycity.com, and then some are the Wild Orchid Craft flowers. But so these are the ones I did with the pearl white. So they're mainly a white, but there's just a little essence of kind of the pearlized color in it. Just a slight bit of pink. And then I did some of the blossoms. Okay, so we're going to start just, I don't know, I don't have, oh, and then I've got a few, I'm not sure if I'll add these or not, but some crocheted flowers from I Am Roses. And I'm going to use these teeny tiny little cherry blossoms. I'm going to use those on the, see my finger pointing over here, kind of on the top part of the little watering pail. So I don't know any rhyme or reason. We're just going to start gluing. So we're going to start making our this. I'm just going to kind of do pink and white. And I also pulled this out. I've got some of these, but they're little pearls. I don't know if they're going to look too big or not, but they're all wired. I cut one off. They're all wired. So, you know, we might insert these amongst the flowers. We'll see what happens. And then I've got some teeny tiny flowers for this one little thing we're going to be doing also to our little project. Because, you know, I don't want just a topiary sitting on top of a flower pot, as you know. So I'm having a watering can. So we're going to create a scene, because you guys know how I like to kind of create a little scene. So that's the game today. So let's start putting our flowers on. If it gets too long and boring, you know, we might go 10-15 minutes and then I'll just cut this off and then I'll finish the flower process, you know, on my own time, so you don't have to sit and watch me do flowers for 30 minutes. And then we'll come back to like a part 2, and then that one might be the longer video, and see if I can't get this in 2 parts for you, because I know it takes a lot of time to sit and watch 3 parts. Okay, that's the plan. So if, like I said, if it just gets to be too long, and so you guys don't have to sit through it all, we'll do some together and chat, and then I'll cut it off and finish the flower part up, and we'll come back for the second video doing the bottom piece, which will be a lot more fun. And what I'm going to do I've got this real skinny dowel rod that I'm going to put up through the center of it. And into a piece, because I had 2 of these, so I cut another little piece off, and we'll put that, you know, to put inside the watering can. I've got a chunk of this foam inside the watering can, and we'll run it through the bottom of this into the foam that goes in the watering can to kind of make our base. Okay, so that's the plan there. And like I said, though, I haven't done this before, so any mistakes, we're doing it together. And I'm trying to figure out, because I want my top pointy. I just don't want it flat off, so I'm not quite sure how I want to do that yet. But you know what the heck, let's start gluing. And the foam these will really go in, because the foam will melt as we put these around, right? Indeed. I don't know if I should just random put pink ones and then try to fill them in with white, or I might do that. I think I'm going to do that, and I have a feeling I'm going to need to get more white ones. But we'll just kind of random put pink ones in, just a little area at a time, and then we'll fill in with white ones. But yeah, I was going to do this all like whites and creams, but decided to do a little pink because this is going to somebody. Oh, I think. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it turns out. All right, so let's get a few white ones in there. Am I in frame? Okay. I measured out my area. I stuck my finger, like my camera ends, you know, this is the end of it here and the end of it here. So on my craft mat, that's like area, you know, 16 inch. So I can go from 2 to 16 inch marks on my craft mat. So I can kind of stay in view. But the problem is I can't go way up here because you guys can't see me. Right? All the fun stuff of this. And I know this is going to look really funny at first. I just have this feeling it's going to look quite hilarious until it starts filling in. That's why I have like some cherry blossoms too, to give us a little bit of different flowers. And I'll put a few of these littler blossoms on there to kind of tie in down to the bottom. And then that's why I thought some of these too. Little crocheted flowers, just to give it a little bit of something. But then I don't know if I would like that or not. Let's tuck in. I'm going to leave that spot kind of open, and we'll do a few more flowers around in there and then see what it looks like with the crocheted flower kind of tucked in. You having fun yet? I'm having fun, and I hope this turns out the way I have it pictured in my head. I'm not going to let you know quite yet. I'm going to put some of these down near the bottom because they're a little bit bigger. What I'm going to do with that watering pail, the idea I have to make it look cute and into a little scene. It also involves something with this, obviously. But I just think it'll look really cute. I'll put one of these little guys up here. And I'll probably, so it's not just all one. I know that's awful pretty, isn't it? Put some of these little cherry blossoms kind of up on top, maybe, to give it a little dimension. It might look silly. It's like I've got the bottom part pictured in my head that looks really cute, and then the top part I'm just not sure how it's going to look. They always look really pretty when they're done, but it still just kind of wigs me out because I don't know that I have the confidence. Just know how pretty it's going to be. Already 17 minutes in. Yeah, I have a feeling what we'll do is I'll get this to maybe 24, 25 minutes, and then I'll glue the rest off camera and come back with it, because this can get mighty boring for you. And then we'll go on to the fun part that's going to be the bottom piece. Right? Alright, let's see. I'm going to kind of lay some flowers on here. I don't know, those kind of just don't quite look right. So let's see if I put another one down in here. Just looks funny. It doesn't quite look right. Alright, I don't think that I like those. That tells us a thing or two. Should get some of these up in here though. We'll get some of these up here. Still don't know if I like these big cherry blossoms, but you got to have a little bit of different flower. Actually, I think I like those a little bit better, obviously, than the crocheted ones. Looking pretty. Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to get some of these more creamy color ones. I really love these kind of heart blossoms from, I think they're pretty, from Crafty City. I love them. Archana, I love them. I wish I could have got every color, about 2 or 3 packages of like the cream and 2 or 3 packages of the white. They're nice quality flour. That's where, hey, we're plugging along. What are we at, about 20 minutes? Okay, I'll just make you sit through a few more minutes of this, and then I will come back with this part all done, huh? I almost need one of these tucked in there, and I might have to get a few more of those little tiny blossoms out, because they're going to be good when I have to stuff them into little bitty spots. What do you think? Looking kind of funky, but it'll be pretty when we're done. Some things look real pretty right from the start, and some things you gotta make it look pretty. Most definitely. Get one of these little heart blossoms. Very cute. Time for another pink one yet? Better put another pink one there. Get off there. Okay. Looking cute. All right. So we are at 21 minutes. So you've watched my process. So I'm going to finish the rest of gluing these on camera or off camera. No worries. I won't go any farther without you. Well, a woman has a right to change her mind. We'll just see how far I get. But I will get this part done. Anyway, I'll see you back in part 2. Thanks for sharing your time with me. Bye.